How tiring is life at 27 years old? Part 3. I was born in the winter of 1995, female, single, officially turning 27 at the end of this year. I'm currently lying in a rented room in an apartment building, haven't had a job for 2 months, applying for unemployment benefits. I know I can't continue to suffer like this, but I also don't have the strength to do so. Continue to apply for a job. After graduating from university with a good degree, I applied to a company affiliated with the university. Although it is a top 10 listed company in the industry, because of the fashion business, profits are low, so it is not considered a big company. After 4 years of stumbling, I easily honed from a novice to a veteran at work. I also registered in Shenzhen and received a talent allowance. But in the course of my daily work, I saw my own destiny that I would be fired once I was old and no longer able to work. My family lives in a 4th and 5th grade district. My parents do not have a formal job, they rely on self-built rental housing and my father's permanent social security allowance to sustain themselves. In the countryside. Luckily, they had the same income, so I didn't have to support them for a few years after I graduated, and I saved a little money. So in April of this year, based on my savings to spend for a period of time, I decided to quit my job. After officially completing the formalities in May, I packed up my luggage and belongings, moved directly to Guangzhou, and started a deadlocked life. There are many reasons to quit my job, and I also find it very difficult to understand. For example, although my salary is over 6,500 yuan, the company is located in the suburbs, the surrounding environment is not good, the job is not good. I'm busy, so I don't have time or mood to socialize and make friends. That's why I've been single since graduation. Moreover, in my heart, there is always a weak voice that cries out in pain ever since. I am tired. Like a donkey that worked hard day and night, he worked and studied efficiently for many years, and finally got tired. When we were in school, someone would always tell us that we would be fine when we got into middle school, high school, college, and going to work. Like a carrot hanging in front of a donkey, you can be seen but never eaten. I awakened my sensitive personality when I was a teenager, when my intuition felt that my academic life was always not as I wanted. The purpose of studying was to get a diploma and make money. Feed myself sooner, so that I can do what I love. So, after graduating from Puban, I did not take the graduate entrance exam, but devoted myself to the cruel market economy. A few years after graduating, I always thought that it was okay if I didn't like this job, as long as I made money, so I gritted my teeth and insisted on doing a job I didn't like with an attractive salary. As a result, after my 26th birthday, my parents and relatives in the countryside constantly urged me to get married to the point of despair. I used to be proud that I was more thoughtful than my peers and had saved a lot of money. My mother was not satisfied and said that this money is nothing, later pass the civil service exam and get a rich husband, then I will have everything. Dusty memories suddenly came to me. When I was in high school, I used to quarrel over trifles, and my mother scolded me for nothing but good grades. Moreover, every time I failed an exam, I was severely scolded. Actually, the real reason why I was determined to work at that company for 4 years is because my parents have 4 children, only I have a university degree. I don't dare to be picky, making them worry about me. A job with no way out, with desperate overtime hours, and oppressed by unscrupulous supervisors, I survived until I transferred to another department and my life was barely improved. Benevolent. Actually, I'm always afraid to eat well when traveling, just want to save more money. Maybe one day I can fulfill my artistic dream. It's just that I'm too thrifty and too slow to grow up, so I suddenly hit the old lady threshold when a woman turns 26. Before I could become the person I wanted to be when I was a teenager. As a woman, I almost had to give up myself completely and enter into a marriage to become the mother of this person, the wife of this person. The little pride in the difference that I keep hidden in my heart is nothing in the eyes of others. I was immature, inflexible, and ingenious, and while my peers were all successful in academics or career advancement, I became a loser at the wrong time. Hidden dating? In the family, there are two unemployed brothers. My parents are just citizens of the district and town, and I am just an ordinary graduate student with a mediocre job. Who can I be suitable for? Civil service exam? I don't think I'm one of the lucky ones in the growing wave of exams each year. It seems that the path of changing fate is fragile for me. In the end, the fatal blow to me was that after years of doing odd jobs, I realized that I might not really be that gifted in painting. I have always lived according to reason and restraint. Now I feel that maybe I have been too harsh on myself. Last night, because I drank coffee and green tea in the afternoon, I had trouble sleeping all night. When it was dawn, I saw the sunlight shining through the window. My heart suddenly became excited. I put on my clothes, rushing out for a walk, watching people do morning exercises, buying dumplings with soy milk. I seemed to have recovered. I wore headphones to listen to music all the time, coming home still humming enchanting tunes. While cleaning the floor, while humming frantically, cleaning the room, tired, then fell asleep. When I woke up, it was already afternoon. It's late at night, I'm still tossing and turning. Morning excitement and confidence dissipated in my sleep. Helplessness and fatigue once again took over my emotions. Actually, last night when I was at my lowest, I really wanted to jump into the river to end it all. I played the game of life for nearly 27 years, only to find out that the direction is wrong, the money is not enough, the society is not welcoming. It can be said that for the first time in my life I played bad, and in the end I did not return as I wanted. There is no fanatical counterattack, only the conceit and struggle of the poor. Maybe it will get better someday, maybe it will never get better. My grandmother, who had always loved me, died suddenly in June, and I attended the funeral in a hurry. I know my mother is very fragile right now. She even asked me to stay at home to spend more time with her, but I did not dare to stay. The second sister suffered from schizophrenia for many years. In the last 2 years, she has been stable, but she has completely lost her social function and can only rely on the protection of her family to survive. My brother is depressed, sometimes scolds family members, and I, who only come home occasionally, will also be attacked indiscriminately by him. In such a depressed and hopeless atmosphere at home, not only could I not comfort my mother, but I also brought disaster upon myself. I couldn't even maintain the mask of reason. After returning to Guangzhou, I pretended to be positive every day, learning to cook, watching financial videos, and occasionally practicing my makeup skills. It's just that behind this unappreciated performance by one person, it may one day be just the sound of a fan whirring in the sweltering heat, or it may just be an undercooked lunch egg, and a little disagreement in this life will bring painful memories like a waterfall. When my grandmother was alive, she always worriedly nagged me not to eat and lose weight. When I rushed home, my grandmother was lying in bed. She heard my call clearly, but her cloudy eyes were gone. See the shadow of the visitor. In her final days, she could barely eat any liquid food. My mother stewed fresh chicken soup from home, accompanied me to visit her. Mom coaxed her to take a sip of chicken soup, but she bit her lip and didn't want to drink anymore. Not long after, the grandmother passed away. She worked hard all her life without eating or wearing. Our children and grandchildren have only worked for a few years, and on New Year's Eve, she was given a big red envelope, so she left. I have not enjoyed any blessings in my life. My whole life is broken for my children and grandchildren. I hate myself for not being able to make a lot of money, not being able to take her to a doctor in the big city, and why I don't study hard so that I can become a doctor. Now what to say, also useless. Funeral music lasted all day and night. Each time relatives and old friends flocked to my uncle's house to attend the funeral. In a daze, we saw her off under the guidance of the funeral director. Since then, the lives of all our children and grandchildren seem to have been separated by a completely different abyss, by the passing of our elders. My mother no longer spoke sarcastic words to me in those days, and my father finally let go of the patriarchal style for many years. Faced with their weakness and closeness, I just wanted to escape. Because I can't do anything. Sorry, I'm a useless thing. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. If you stay up late, tomorrow's biological clock will be messed up again.